we had our first hypnobirthing class Wednesday night.
Okay.
One of the first things that happened was we watched video comparisons of women who were screaming and tensing their way through labor versus women who were more calm, peaceful, not necessarily with a loudness point of view, like not whether they were being loud or quiet, but just the way they exuded their emotions in the moment and letting go rather than bracing for something. So how can a woman feel more comfortable throughout all these changes, pregnancy, labor, and then postpartum with this new life?
Yeah, I think that that's a interesting question. I don't necessarily know that there's ever been a right or wrong way to birth a baby, first of all. And all women have different ways to birth their babies and allow themselves to feel that expansion. So there's never a right or wrong way. There are definitely, in my belief and understanding, that you can have a practice daily that will help your mind and body and breath prepare for the uncomfortability. Being pregnant, first of all, it's uncomfortable. The entire process is uncomfortable. I deeply remember that feeling in my own body. And while I loved being pregnant, it was a day-to-day roller coaster for sure, the emotions. And when you lean into the uncomfortability of the everyday expansion, it definitely prepares the mind for the bigger marathon, right? Which is the birth. You can deeply work with understanding how your breath and your mind will always be your biggest tool in bringing baby earthside. Whether you have an epidural or a home birth or a hospital birth, the preparation is so needed because it is a feeling and an experience for a first-time mom. And even if you have multiple babies, every birth is different. So you prepare by preparing for the unknown, knowing that you are going to be uncomfortable. There's no escaping being uncomfortable and making a human and then birthing a human. It is uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, when we talk about uncomfortability, do you think it comes back to endurance? Is it regulation? Like what are the ingredients that you think plays into that comfortability with the unknown and with being able to handle what's coming?
Yeah, I think it's this deeply innate trust within oneself to know that the experience is going to be uncomfortable, to trust and hear what that intuition is, so that when that voice pops up of, no, I need to move, or no, I want to get out of the tub, or yes, it's time for an epidural and I'm exhausted, right? All of these different scenarios may come up, and you want to make a decision from a deep knowing within yourself without having to fully rely on your OB or your midwife or even your doula or your partner, right? There is a deep intuition within us. And when we really tap into that, it then carries forward into parenting. Nobody has any better idea of what your child or baby needs than you. You're their home. You're their first home. You created this incredible temporary organ, the placenta. That in itself is a process, and it's uncomfortable. You're literally creating, like, let's think about that for a moment. You are literally creating a temporary organ. Like, how is that not going to be uncomfortable, right? And I think that when we really get to, like I said to you earlier when we weren't filming, when you separate the individual, the I, and the judgment of my belly is getting bigger, my nipples are getting darker and bigger, and I have crazy body odor that I've never had before. And
Me every day,
right?
lifting my arms.
Oh my gosh,
like, where'd that come from?
That's pregnancy, that's postpartum. Like, all of this is, if we step back rather than judging, like, we look at the trees and we think, gosh, it's beautiful. The leaves are changing and they're blooming. And then the season changes and the leaves fall off, right? There is an awe, a true awe that happens when we are creating life. And when we are able to look at it from this awe, rather than, oh my gosh, I'm so big, I'm so heavy. And yes, those are all valid and it's okay. But when we default back to, this is incredible, regardless of my feeling today, this is incredible. That little awe and gratitude make the process that much easier.
I definitely resonate with that because, like I was telling you before recording, 2 nights ago, I only woke up once. And then last night, I was up 3-4 times. And then I was like, forget it, I'm just staying up. And I used to get really frustrated at that. At why can't I get sleep tonight? Why is it an up and down thing? Where now I just give myself the grace because life doesn't stop. And I think that ties back into what you were talking about with awe. Nature is always going to do its thing. It's always going to create and shed. And we're internalizing that experience. So to me, it seems like mother's intuition begins even before baby is fully earthside.
Absolutely.
Especially when we get really hungry and maybe we don't want the broccoli and we want the Doritos and we go for it and then we feel really great afterwards. And it seems like that also carries into labor, but sometimes as women, we can forget it based on the setting. Do you think that's something that resonates with you? Is that something that you've seen with clients?
Yeah, I mean, I think every birth is uniquely different. And I truly believe that your pregnancy and your birth give you a deep spiritual lesson that we need. And whether how you choose to bring your baby earthside does not ever take away from the sacredness of the process. Whether it's a cesarean, whether it's a home birth, whether you free birth your baby by a river, whether you're at a hospital in L&D, there is a sacredness in that process. And in anything that is transformational and sacred, there is a fear of it. And that fear is because we know that we don't know it all. And that is a connection universally for all women, right? I think that there is a deep connection that when you become a mother, you birth a baby, and that connects you to all other life. You are able to see people in a different way. It's just, you can't escape it. You just can't. Sorry, I don't even know if that answered your question.
No, it did. It answers like 5 of them.
I can't help but get deeply philosophical and combined nature and birth and the sacredness of it all and the humanness of it all, right? And while we each have our own individual experiences, there's a collective that is happening that connects us.
Yeah, definitely. Where do you think a woman can start if she maybe doesn't feel comfortable speaking up or she doesn't know how she can trust herself more in this process? Is there a tip that you have that she can start using to get in tune with her intuition and that trust in herself?